Hello aspirants, welcome back to Where I Is. In our lecture series on Indian polity, we had started with fundamental rights. We studied that there are 6 fundamental rights in our part 3 of Constitution. So the first right we have is right to equality, which is from Article 14 to 18. The next fundamental right is right to freedom from Article 19 to 22. We had already studied Article 19, 20 and 21 in our previous video lectures. Now let's study Article 22. Article 20 is providing safeguards for accused. We had already studied Article 20. Article 20 is also providing safeguards, but this safeguards is for the person who is arrested or imprisoned. But here Article 22 is providing safeguards for the person accused. That's it. His guilt is not yet proven. So only for the accused person it is providing safeguards. So Article 22 Clause 1 and Clause 2 is providing safeguards for the accused, whereas Article 22 Clause 3 to Clause 7 is providing safeguards for people arrested on preventive detention. We shall study about preventive detention in detail later. Firstly, we shall see the safeguards that Article 22 Clause 1 and Clause 2 is providing for person accused. That is, the first safeguard is the person must be informed his grounds of arrest immediately. And the second safeguard is that person must be allowed to contact anybody of his choice. And the third safeguard is that person should be produced in court within 24 hours of his arrest. And one more thing here it is to be noted is this 24 hours of arrest, it does not include the holidays and also the travel time. That is, from the detention place to the judicial magistrate, whatever the time is taken, that time is also not included under 24 hours. So these are the safeguards that Article 22 Clause 1 and Clause 2 is providing for person who is accused. That is, first is just the grounds of arrest should be known and he must be allowed to contact anybody, and then he must be produced in front of judicial magistrate or court within 24 hours of his arrest. So these are the safeguards. However, even Article 22 Clause 1 and Clause 2 has also got exceptions. That is, this safeguards is not applicable for enemy aliens. Enemy aliens are simply nothing but the citizens of other countries with which India is not having friendly relations. So it is enemy aliens. For them, these safeguards are not applicable. And the second thing is, these safeguards are also not applicable for person who is arrested on preventive detention grounds. So let's understand the meaning of preventive detention here. Detention is of two types. One is preventive detention and second one is punitive detention. Here, punitive detention means the person is accused and trials are conducted on him and that person is also found guilty and is punished. So this is the meaning of punitive detention. Whereas preventive detention is nothing but it is just the doubt, that is to prevent him from committing the crime in future he is arrested. If that person is arrested, then that type of detention is called as preventive detention. That is, it is just on grounds that he may commit crime, that person is arrested. That is the meaning of preventive detention. So Article 22 Clause 3 to Clause 7 is providing safeguards for person arrested on grounds of preventive detention. See, even for the person who is arrested on preventive detention, this arrest has to be legal, right? So this arrest has to be warranted by law. That person who is arrested, also that period of detention also has to be legal, right? So that period of detention will be mentioned, every detention will be mentioned under preventive detention law, whereas Constitution says that the period of detention for the person who is arrested under this preventive detention has to be within 3 months. Whereas if that detention is exceeding 3 months, then it has to be only on the advice of advisory board. Then what is this advisory board? This advisory board members should be qualified to become the High Court judge. This advisory board members should have all the qualifications to become the High Court judge. So only on the advice of these members of advisory boards, the period of detention for the person who is arrested on the grounds of preventive detention can exceed 3 months. Otherwise, the Constitution simply says it has to be 3 months, within 3 months, or else it can be according to the preventive detention law. So, if the person who is arrested on the preventive detention ground, even that person has to be informed the reasons but it is as soon as possible. Whereas if a person is arrested on the grounds of just that, if the person is accused, that is not on the preventive detention, for that person the reasons has to be communicated immediately. Whereas here for the preventive detention, the reasons has to be informed as soon as possible. It is not saying the meaning of as soon as possible. So this is about Article 22. Now we have completed right to freedom, which is from Article 19 to 22. In later video lectures, we shall study fundamental rights in detail and we shall complete Indian polity as well. For more videos, keep watching VARA IAS. Please share, subscribe VARA IAS. Thank you.